Welcome to the first episode of the Adam Bursztein Contract to Close podcast. Adam is a Compass agent based in South Florida, and he has recently founded the Equity Advisor team. Adam, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me on here.
I'm pumped to get started. Adam, what did you do before you became a real estate agent?
I'm 44 now. So before I became a real estate agent, I graduated from Florida State University with a degree in business and marketing. I have a former background in fine dining, four-star hospitality service down in Miami Beach and South Beach. I was able to take that and follow a good club designer. Because I speak Spanish, I was able to work with some people, and I went into the nightclub business, building nightclubs, and then ultimately doing some operational management for that.
Why did you decide to pivot to real estate?
My mom is a real estate agent since the 90s. We were entrepreneurs before that. My parents came from Argentina to here, and then they were able to open some small businesses, and I watched them grow. My mom was an agent in Aventura for a good community called Williams Island Realty. She was their number one broker, or agent, I should say. I graduated college. I got my real estate license. I was doing the nightclubs. And I saw a real opportunity in 2000 where the market was still starting to run up prior to the crash of '06 and '07. I noticed how the commission splits were at where she was. And I said, hey, why don't you let me handle the marketing, the internet, the leads, you teach me real estate, and let's start a company together. And that's how Perla International Realty, named after my mom Perla, was started in about 2001.
So if you could go back to 2001, would you still get into real estate if you'd start all over again?
1,000%. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
What was, you started on your own in 2001, and you joined Compass. What was the process like for switching over to Compass?
So right before the pandemic that we're in, and Compass came to me actually 2 years ago, and I wasn't ready to join them. I kind of took a look at where we were, financially running our own brokerage, where we had been in the last 17, 18 years, and what the future was going to bring, not only for me, but for my mom and her future for retirement. I saw a great opportunity in Compass with their technology. Their approach to tech is like no other. It's so easy to market for our sellers. It's just a forward-thinking tech company and real estate company. And I did not lose my second time around to join Compass. I'm super happy with it.
Now, you mentioned all the perks of joining Compass. I'm in New York. We're always hearing about Ryan Serhant. He's always on television. He's always doing things to promote himself. What do you see the future of agents' personal brands? Are they becoming a bigger and bigger factor relative to the importance of what brokerage that agent is with? Like, does it matter if an agent is with company X versus company Y if you are a buyer or seller?
It's a good question, Peter. I've had a lot of time to think about that over the last 20 years. Number one, I named a company after my mom, Perla. She had a great name in the city of Aventura. She was a woman who could speak English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So naming the company after her was a smart move early on. My personal career, I always took a backseat to branding myself and always branding Perla International Realty. As a small business guy, it is important to help develop our brand. And moving fast forward into Compass, we developed Equity Advisor team. We shelved Perla International in a sense, and we created this whole new brand identity where I was still going to build this new brand of Equity Advisor team, which we are. And I wasn't going to do Adam Bursztein as much. But as I realized what's going out there and the way the movement is, you always have to be branding yourself. It's a mistake I've been actually making for almost 20 years. But starting in 2020, I won't make that mistake again. Super important, even if it's your own brokerage or if you're working for somebody else.
So you mentioned that pushing yourself out there was a mistake you made starting out. What would have been either a bigger mistake or another mistake that you made, say, in your first 120 days on the job?
You see, more of not making a mistake. I was more interested at the time in getting Pearl International out there, and even hiring agents and not overshadowing my agents at the time. I still won't do that, but I think it's important to get your name out there. I have a tough last name, Bursztein, Adam Bursztein, so I always shied away from that. You can't get away from who you are. You have to put it out there. I'm excited to put Adam Bursztein out there. Um, the mistakes that I probably made, and it's not in your first 120 days, because at this point, I'm older, I'm more of an educator now, and I like to mentor younger agents and people in here. It's building your database, your sphere of influence. Do not be transactional. These are all key and core components in real estate as an agent or anything. It doesn't matter whatever business it translates to. Those are the key things that I would do much better, and would have had a much more successful business, um, steady.
Can you point to a specific moment in your career where you started to be able to maybe predict business on a more regular schedule? Is there something that you did that again kind of shifted the trajectory of your career? Maybe a different mindset or a different tactic in marketing?
Oh man, we don't have that much time on this one podcast, but as short and concise as I could be with that question, and they're all great questions. I came out of year 2000, which was the Y2K bug and the tech bubble. So I was trying to do something already with management information systems and computer technology. So when I first got my license in South Beach, I worked for a tech real estate company that was good at lead generation online. I learned a lot about online lead generation. I owned a lot and still do my own URLs. And then Zillow and some of these larger ones came in. I adapted my model to the Zillow Trulia platform, which brought us a lot of leads as well. So I've always had a large presence online, and now we're transitioning to social, backing off some of those big houses where we've given them hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions, and going back to URLs, and some other really cool stuff. So we just revamped our whole website, and we're just super excited for the future.
2020 has been a very different year, not only for real estate, but for everyone. Now that it's October, what is your biggest goal for the end of the year with less than 3 months to go?
So we were all caught by surprise back in March. Um, I also own some franchise businesses that were considered non-essential. Florida, we were considered non-essential. So for a while, I just joined in March, right before the pandemic, Compass. I've never been held to any sales goals or any things like that. All of a sudden, and now I'm going to be held to some goals as a team principal building. So I have a goal of a one full year in front of me. So my calendar year doesn't technically end in December for me. I have a 1 year goal with Compass, that I know I need to get to. Our first couple months, we lost some steam, because we were really gearing up to a strong 2020, regardless of Compass. When we joined Compass, it was looking even brighter. Um, the market was unsure, but it has been very strong, to say the least, down here. So we expect big numbers, hopefully at the end of our year.
If we were to put all of your clients in a room together, what would be the first thing that they would, say about you? What are you most known for as an agent?
One thing that I'm definitely known for in my name is my word is as good as his bond. I don't break my word. I'm a straight shooter. I'm an honest guy. So they'll either say he's honest, he's ethical, he's moral, he does the right thing. So yeah, you can look up Bursztein and they'll tell you he's a good guy.
What is the one thing that we don't know about South Florida real estate that we probably should say? Someone like me who has to relocate there for work, that wouldn't be that bad if I had to relocate to Miami for work. But what's something that I need to know that I probably shouldn't know?
South Florida still has a lot of growth, I think, for appreciation and value. It's a lifestyle destination. I work with a lot of New Yorkers. I work with a lot of people from the city, and from Chicago, and everybody's coming here for obviously the taxes that we know, but more about the lifestyle. And now it's more important than ever. People are even that own condos. We're renting big houses. They're buying houses. They're looking for more outdoor space in their condominiums. So the renewed sense in home ownership, But people, if they're going to be at home, and I've heard this from countless New Yorkers, they rather be walking around Collins Avenue and doing the lifestyle versus stuck in New York City. Just embrace the lifestyle that is here, which is good for your mind, your body, your soul. And then with the virtual ability that we have, you can make money here all year round.
Are you starting to see new developments pivot their designs to accommodate, potentially more of a stay at home, work at home, interior design, more amenities?
Previous or prior to, I should say, the pandemic, and you probably maybe have heard this because you're in the industry, but people that don't know this, millennials were actually looking for more of a closed space, walls, closed rooms, and Generation X, like myself, like open floor plans. Home offices were dead. People would tell me, hey, I don't even need my pool. We should cover it. Pandemic now, fast forward, home office is huge right now. Home gym is huge, obviously, with the Peloton and the Echelon mirror and all those things that you need to do. I stopped working out at a warehouse style gym myself. I have a Peloton in my house. We have everything we need here. So pools, offices, and gyms are huge. And then obviously outdoor spaces have become a big thing right now.
Next up, we're going to have our lightning round. So the first thing that comes to mind, just shout it out. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. What is your favorite restaurant in the city?
Hands down, Timo Restaurant in Sunny Isles. Good friend of mine, Mediterranean, Italian, CIA Culinary Institute, top chef. He's traveled and worked in the best restaurants. His restaurant's probably 15 years old and is surviving the pandemic. So if you hear this, come in town, eat at Timo, say, Adam, he'll take good care of you.
Do you have a strict morning routine? And if so, what's your favorite part?
Absolutely. I have two young kids now, 6 and 8, and I'm married. So my time is precious. So I'm up at about 4:30 a.m. I'm on my walk at 5 a.m. listening to a audible book, or I'm listening to a podcast and kind of getting my day ready. So I walk for about an hour, and then I come home, get the kids ready, drop the kids off. You have to be in a routine. Then I try to prospect on the phone for 2 hours, do my normal business of, like, this morning I had an appraisal on a commercial property. So I did that before our podcast. And kind of time blocking is huge basically in my day. And then get my kids, and then later on at night, try to make a few more phone calls for prospecting.
What's the best technology hack that you've been using lately? It could be a hack or a new application, something that you're really excited about.
I mean, I'm so excited. I'm such a tech guy. That's like, I recently got into this awesome system. Not only being a residential and commercial real estate agent, I'm also an investor in property. So I'm now have a pipeline for off-market opportunities. So that's an exciting new thing that I just invested in. So that's going to be huge for my database.
What's the most rewarding part of working in real estate?
I always like to make a win-win situation anyway in life. So that's my number one goal is bringing, whether I control both sides of the deal or I'm working with another agent or however it may turn out, I'm always looking for the silver lining and I'm always looking for the win-win. And if I can put those things together, and obviously bringing somebody to South Florida, and whether they're buying a home or they're retiring here, that's just also icing on the cake.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
It probably goes back to it's two, and I think it's the keep it simple formula. I won't say the last part, and the slow down and just slow down and take a look at all of it, and see if it makes sense.
And lastly, how can agents connect with you to send you referral business, social media, email, phone number, whatever you want to give out?
They can hit me up on equityadvisorteam.com. They can call me direct 24/7. Scared to say that. 305-409-7556. So that's my direct cell phone. Equityadvisorteam.com is my website. I have a bunch of social media handles out there, so you can always find me that way as well.
Adam, thanks so much for coming on the show. Looking forward to next week's show already.
Been a pleasure, man. Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. And to everybody out there, stay positive.